Welcome, friends. This is we are back again with some other topics in economics. All right. Today's topic, all right, is we are going to deal with Marshallian and Hicksian uh, compensating demand curve. All right. Now, what happens is that this concept, all right, can be understood in a very simple context, all right. That that is that in the previous video we had done in the what we call as the Hickson and the Slutsky uh, that approach where we distinguish between the substitution effect and the uh, income effect. All right. Now here, what we do is in that what we thought is that we assumed that the consumer, all right, makes we explain with the help of a phantom uh, budget line. All right, we made a phantom budget line. What does that mean is that when the price decreases, all right, and in order to see what is the substitution effect, what we do, we decrease the budget. All right, we decrease the budget. What happens if the amount of money which is the real income which is in our hand is left over, is kept like that, and it is not used to purchase that same commodity, and in spite the demand increases. All right, so that part of the demand which increases due to other people or other consumers wanting that commodity because it has become cheaper. So when we consider that, that is the substitution effect, and that was distinguished with the help of the phantom budget line. All right. Now, here what happens is that the with the help of the same budget line, we assume, all right, we assume that the consumer, see, when the price decreases, there are two options which the consumer has. One is that with that same money, with the say 200 rupees you have, all right. Now, with that 200 rupees, and you go into the market to buy apples, all right. Now, or $200, whatever your example is. Now, 200 rupees or dollars, or if you take and go into the market, and if the price of the apple is around $200, all right, or 200 rupees, what happens? You buy 1 kg of apple, all right. And when it decreases, the price decreases to 100 rupees, we what we do, we assume that the consumer goes and consumes more of that commodity. With $200 or 200 rupees, what he does is he goes and buys 2 kgs of apple, all right. And if it goes further down to 50 rupees or $50, the consumer buys 4 kgs of apple. The concept is that the consumer is exhausting all his money, all his budget, what he has, all right, for apple. Or there may other things, all right, but for apple he had 200 rupees, so he's exhausting that budget. Now, in this, what happens in a compensating demand curve, all right, what we assume is that the money, he goes and purchases only that much, all right, what he wanted, all right. And with the help of that, when we make the change of demand, with the help of that, all right, we draw the compensating demand curve, and let's start with it. All right, you'll understand as the graph is shown. All right, let's start. All right, Hicks decomposition. All right, it is also known as Hicks decomposition. All right. Now this is a simple graph where there's x2 and x1. X2 is product 1 and x1 is x1 is product 1, x2 2. All right, and this is a simple uh, your indifference curve, all right, and where these are the various options which the consumer has, and giving them same level of satisfaction. All right. So after this, what happens? So a consumer gets it equilibrium at the point where this indifference curve gets tangent to the budget line. All right, we've already known that. All right. So this budget line. So this is the point of tangency, and this is the point of equilibrium where the consumer gets its equilibrium. All right. Name it point A. All right. Now what? Now, when the price of product one, that is X1, decreases, all right, the demographics changes, and the budget line shifts, or it changes from here to this, it increases, and the capacity to buy product one increases. Capacity to buy product one increases due to the change in the price of goods one, and and uh, and we get a new indifference curve, all right, say indifference curve B, all right, that is, the you have a different utility, and here is the new equilibrium point which we get. All right, so here is the first equilibrium point, the original equilibrium point, and this is the new equilibrium point which we get. All right, now let's continue. All right, let's continue. This is point B, the second equilibrium point, due to the change in the uh, price of goods one. Now this is a total effect. This we know that this total effect is the price effect, which includes the substitution effect and the income effect. All right, uh, we go more further. We go more further, and what we do, we draw a depending upon the, remember, in Hexenian approach, we used the same indifference curve. All right, same indifference curve, and we make a parallel budget line which goes to the through the same indifference curve which we had, and makes a tangent point here. All right, another new tangent point, and this new tangent point is a new this we used to call the phantom budget line. All right, and we make this new equilibrium point. Now this point determines the substitution point. So up till here is the substitution effect, and beyond this, all right, beyond this is the income effect, from here till here. All right, yes, come on. So this is the point C. All right, point C is the equilibrium point. All right, new equilibrium point which is drawn on the phantom budget line. Now here what we did, see, this is the substitution effect, and this is the income effect. All right, this is the total effect. Now we are going to draw the compensating demand curve. Now what we do, we make a simultaneous graph with price on the y-axis, and goods quantity of commodity x1, that is the first commodity, on the x-axis. All right, and what we do is we drop we ignore this point. All right, and from here we'll be dropping a line. All right, which coincides with this price. So this is the original point at price P10. All right, P0 of product 1, we consumed so many x1 commodity, and P2. All right, so here is the thing. All right, just give me 1 minute before it goes away. So this from point B, when we drop it, all right, this is the this demand curve. All right, this at point B. All right, at price P1 we demand, all right, x1 commodity, this amount of commodity, x11 commodity, quantity of commodity. All right, and we get another point. All right, at C, when we drop it with the same price P11. All right, at this point. All right, now remember this thing. Marcel made the demand curve, all right, on this new, all right, budget line. So he did not compensated anything. All right, he did not compensate it with the price, and he did not compensate the demand Like for example, the price decreased, so he is increasing his demand. All right, due to the price decrease. All right, whatever the price decreased, he increased, he used that real income to consume more of that commodity, and he exhausts all his money he has. All right, so this demand curve is called Marshallian demand curve, which is uncompensated demand curve. Now the other demand curve which we draw, all right, on the basis of Hicks approach, is joining point A and C, and the demand curve which we get is called the Hicksonian demand curve, and this is the compensated demand curve. Here we are not exhausting the full amount of the this money which we extra money which we have with us. We have increased the consumption to a certain extent due to the substitution effect. All right, but the extra money which we have from here to here, this amount is not being used to purchase more of that commodity. All right, it is by substitution effect, how much the demand is increasing, that much is being taken. All right, so this is what is the Hicksonian Marshallian demand curve is the non-compensated demand curve, whereas Hicksonian demand curve is a compensated demand curve. All right, so from here to here is the substitution effect, and here to here is the income effect. And we, in a Hicksonian demand curve, we ignore, we do not take into account the income effect. All right, simple as that. That means the increase in the real income is kept.